Good evening, everyone. Welcome to NMP Talk Show. And this evening, we're streaming to Facebook, to Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, any platform that you think you can access. We're probably there. So we want to reach everyone that's possible so that they can gain from this show. And our show this evening is dedicated to all those matriculants, those that have studied matric this year, and those that did matric last year. And with our show today, we just want to speak on something very delicate to those, especially that received their results and they were not happy with them. We're hoping that this show will shine some ray of light into the future so that you can see beyond the results. And I'm with my co-host Figile Nkosi as usual, and speak to our special guests. And if you can see on the screen as well, our special guests are ready and fired. Happy to share the information they have. Look at their smiles. Figile, welcome.
Thank you, Neo. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hey, talking about smiles. Hey, we love the smiles. We laugh even if there's a passing. So, hey, today it's beautiful. Thank you, Noel, for hosting us. As you have mentioned, so today we are talking to matriculants. Where to from here? Whether you've passed or whether you have failed, where are we gonna go from here? We've got Sipuxolo. I will let our guests introduce themselves. We've got Spa. We are expecting our founder. And while we're waiting for our founder, Sipuxolo, kindly introduce yourself to our guests, to our listeners.
Good evening. My name is Sipuxolo Mazwi. I'm based in Cape Town. I am a marketing specialist, goal setting coach, leadership coach, and an inspirational speaker. I would like to say hello to the viewers. We cannot wait to have a conversation with you, and hopefully, it will be fruitful to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shine.
Thank you, Sipuxolo. Hi. And we've got
Jabu.
Spa. Spa, please introduce yourself to our viewers
Yes.
tonight.
Hi everyone. My name is Pa Nene. Oh, my full name is Pamandla Nene. I'm based in Pietermaritzburg, but I was born and bred in a rural area called Kwatimba. So I'm a facilitator and a trainer at Zimele Foundation, and I am a deputy chairperson at Make a Mark Africa Youth Development, where we run free mentorship at the park. So I'll tell you more about that. Yeah, so good evening to our viewers uh, and our lovely guest and our host. Thank you, thank
Thank you,
you.
Spa. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Spa. We're looking forward to this wonderful and fruitful
Yes.
evening. Um, our next guest is Jabu. Jabu, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jabu, and I go by the name of Umam Coach. I practice as a life coach and a neuro linguistic programming practitioner. I focus mainly on life in general and also in career support. And my focus is mainly on young people, and also I run workshops with women and young people. So it's an absolute pleasure to be with everyone tonight. And thank you so much to the host, Neo and Fikile, for this beautiful evening. Thank
It's our
you.
pleasure. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Mom Coach. I love that you are Mom Coach. The only person that we need in this show, Mom Coach. While we are waiting for our other guests to connect, maybe we can actually have the
Yes.
conversation. I'll first share because people might not know as viewers out there that I'm part of the ambassadors. Even though today I'm just the co-host, but I'm part of my colleagues, the ambassadors. As you see them on our screens, they are ambassadors of a very wonderful campaign, Matric ungazibulali. We're waiting for the founder to join us. But now look at Javu. She's
She's a bit lazy.
representing
I don't
all of
know about
us
this
here.
one.
Thank you, Mom Coach.
Oh, before
So now I'll just share a
Jamila,
bit. Yes,
before
Noah.
you continue, I want to welcome Mam Khemi on Telegram. Oh, we just lost her. Yeah,
Oh
but
yes.
then when she comes back, she's um, our contributing social worker on our show. She's always there with us, and whenever we need some counseling or some advice, we have our mom there. So you're more than welcome to.
Now we've got two
Yes, now
moms
we
on
have
the
two
show.
moms, so you're more than welcome to use it as well. Anyway, yeah, over to you,
Yes,
Tigre.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. No, we'll wait for her. But I just wanted to share a little bit about the reason why I was attracted to this
Mm,
campaign. You know, having failed, no, not failed, but repeated grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. You know, when I searched today, I realized that I had to repeat grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, and I never failed all of these grades, but I had to repeat them. And luckily, I managed to stay strong, stay resilient, and I managed to go through until grade 12. I managed to go to varsity. I managed to hold, today I'm holding a master's degree. You know, but there are kids out there who are not as lucky as
mm,
I am, be it because there's no support or they don't know why they are where to go from here. So I am happy to be part of this wonderful campaign, but today is not about me. I just had to share that, you know what, it's not because I hear people talking about Matric ungazibulali, I don't have any experience about it. I know this is very closer to me to say, at some point I was suicidal, but because I had a supportive family, they managed to support me. But there are kids who doesn't have the luxury that I had, because I will say it was a luxury. Some they don't have that, and we are here today to say, hey, we are here for you. We are here to support. I won't take everything from you. Pilani, welcome. Please do introduce yourself.
just need to unmute yourself, Pilani. Okay,
Looks like Pilani is
yeah,
struggling a bit. While he's trying to connect, is there anything you would like to, while we are waiting for him to connect? Because we want
yeah.
everybody to be
Just
able to introduce themselves. Anybody?
before everyone else comments, you said you had to repeat the standards, and you're repeating them.
Yep,
Not that because you failed them.
because not because I
Yeah,
failed.
why?
That's very interesting,
Very
hey?
interesting. Why did you repeat them?
So, grade 10, I was going through some emotional issues that I didn't know they were
Okay.
there. And I just decided to drop out. I was the smartest kid in class, but I couldn't cope. So I had to drop out. School was not making it for me, was not doing it for me. So I decided to drop my it was standard 9 then, but it was grade
Okay.
10. Grade 11, I had to repeat. So I went through grade 12. But in grade 12, I got an H, I think that's how it's called today. I passed, but I couldn't get to varsity. I didn't even care about education then. You know, it was me just doing it. And my family was like, so where to from here? I was like, I don't know. I stayed home for 4 years. When I went back to the school that I finished my matric in, they said they couldn't take me in grade 12.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, if you can't take me in grade 12, fine. Take me back to grade 11. They gladly did. I was in a class of about 53, 54, 56 learners. There was no space for the teachers to stand in. And I thought maybe I will change and do the science stream instead of the commerce stream, because that's where I was previously. Unfortunately, they said no. They didn't trust that I was going to make it. So I had to go back to the commerce stream, stay in the same class. And then grade 12, that was the same thing because I wanted grade 12, but I had to go back to grade 11.
Hmm. Very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Pilani, is your mic connected now?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome, Pilani.
Perfectly.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Pilane. I'm a transport engineer, but I cannot be able to fix the load shedding. Network is very bad on this side, so that's why I'm having a trouble. That's why I'm having a trouble connect this discussion because it
Sham, we'll just
means a lot
excuse you
to
for
me.
that, Pilani.
But I will share my yes, yes.
All right. Right.
But my
Cool.
network is
Welcome,
very
Pilani.
bad. Um,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
yeah, but we'll engage you every now and then when it improves. So, Sipokazi, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you contribute to this hashtag Matric and Beyond.
Okay, I am
Oh, so for
Sipukolo, not
I
Sipokolo.
Sipikazi.
wanted to correct him. It's okay, Nero, you are pardoned.
It's a very meaningful name that means grant
Okay.
us peace. For me, I have a different story. No, I've never failed. I'm not a failure. Not like someone who has failed is a failure, but failure gives you an opportunity to do something better, of which I've never gotten an opportunity to do something better. So it's cool. So the reason why I joined Matric Ungazibulali is because I'm very passionate about education, firstly. Where I am today, it's because of education. I don't know anything else, no connections, no backup plan, just straight out education. So for me to be part of the campaigns that motivate young people to go to school, to give them that hope that when you fail, you need to fail forward. It was something that I wanted to contribute on because the humble beginnings that I come from, the rural areas, very remote rural areas where we didn't have resources whilst going to school, you would find a group of 10 people share the same textbook because there were no textbook at school. And we didn't have libraries in our communities and at school. I first saw or walked into a library in 2008 when I went to study at DUT, Durban University of Technology. So for me, education has been everything. And the hashtag Ungazibulali is very close to my heart because I recently lost my niece who committed suicide because of the pressures that she encountered um, because of school, because there are various pressures that contribute to how you look at yourself when you are at school. I can only speculate what was happening because we just didn't know, and I just wanted to be that voice over and above motivating the learners to go to school, go back to school. Education is everything, not only because you need to pass with good grades, but to be able to make strategic decisions within your life. And add on that, you need to talk. Talk to people. Not everyone is going to judge you. Talk about the things that are not comfortable with you, whether it's bullying at school, whether it's a teacher always maybe saying you can never pass or you cannot amount to anything at thingy in life.
Mhm.
Do talk about those things because we find that it's those things that actually contribute negatively and then results to these kids killing themselves because they are not confident. They do not have people that can openly speak to. So I would like to pause there. And if ever there are any questions or contributions, then I would like to welcome them now. Thanks.
Thank you for that figure.
Thank you for sharing your life story, Sipukolo. It's definitely different, but it's something that contributes to the same campaign that we are all doing. Jabu, is there anything you would like to add with why you joined the campaign as well? You are muted, Jabu. Sorry.
My bad. Thank you very much. It's
Okay.
almost similar to Sipu Kola in the sense that obviously one is passionate about education, and I also come from a rural area in KwaZulu Natal, KwaNyuswa, Ebotasi.
Mm,
I was raised by my grandmother, and I was very determined. You know, I knew exactly when I was in high school that I wanted to go to university and be successful one day. I did my best under the circumstances. So the day I got my results, as excited as I was, and I remember I got an acceptance from DUT then. It was Technical Natal years ago. And then, but when I presented it to my grandmother, um, and my mother, but I was very close to my grandmother, the answer was okay. Everyone was happy, but unfortunately, we do not have money to take you to university.
mm,
So you can imagine, as a young person, you just don't understand. Here I am being ambitious and everything, but suddenly, you know exactly that your parents do not have money to take you to university, but you want to go to university. Um, then I was an introvert and I was a crybaby, so I cried. I think almost the whole week or something like that. I was, until a cousin actually spoke to a relative and said, Jabu has been crying, she's passed, but she can't go to university. And that's when some relatives then chipped in and supported, and I ended up in university. So hence, I have a soft spot for learners that need support actually in order to go to university. And I found myself over the years, getting calls, especially at the beginning of the year, although I discouraged that, but I've over the years seen, calls from friends and relatives asking for advice, into how to get into university. But also, I think in KZN, I've worked for 4 universities already. And so that's the reason actually I joined hashtag Ungazibulali, and just to say there's always support around you. Just reach out there and cry out loud. The social media these days, just pop one word, guys, I need help, and help is all around you.
Well, thank you for that.
it's very interesting what you are doing. Yes, no, you can go. I'll go
Just
after
a quick
you.
question for mom coach. So what do you actually coach for the benefit of our listeners? What do you coach?
Okay, thank you, Neva. Um, for me, the first one, when it comes to young people, I focus on self confidence, because I do believe that once you find yourself and once you master yourself and be confident, there is a lot that you can achieve. Because most of our setbacks come from the fact that we are afraid to reach out or to say something, or to express ourselves rather. So I mainly focus on self confidence, as well as career counseling. So if, for an example, a learner wants to choose subjects and they are not sure, so they obviously need to understand what is it that they are interested in doing, and then they then support them in choosing the correct subjects. Because I do feel like, as I'd say, as a country, as an education system, we're still lacking in that area in terms of supporting our learners to choose correctly. And because by the time they're in grade 12 and somebody is stuck, somebody wants to be a doctor, but or maybe wants to do engineering, but they've done a maths literacy instead of medcore, and it's a whole of a mess. I do have a case 2 days ago. A cousin said she has a niece that wants to do engineering, but the marks obviously didn't talk to the passion. So sometimes I make noise and say, guys, I always personally as a mom coach, I always put it out there that if you have a child or a child or a relative that starts in grade 12, start preparing as early as possible. So that's what I do basically in that space.
All right.
You already touched on what I wanted to ask you. You mentioned that you don't encourage people coming to you later. What is it
Yeah.
that you can say, when is what's the right time for me to scream I need help? The reason I'm asking you this is because recently I had a case of a child who is from the rural areas. When you're from the rural areas, you are disadvantaged not because you cannot do things. You are disadvantaged because you don't have the information. This child went to varsity, did up to the second year, but couldn't finish, and not really that couldn't finish, couldn't get her results for the final year, and stayed at home. I think this is her third year at home with no qualifications, but went to school and cannot be employable and cannot say anything to anybody to ask for help because she doesn't even know where to go from here. So now you touched on that, hence I'm bringing it up to say, when is the right time for me to ask for help?
Okay, Figila, maybe just for clarity, are we talking to learners that are still in high school or in university?
Any learners. You
May,
can
Okay.
tackle both.
maybe
You
we
can
can
tackle
narrow
the
it
ones that
down.
you are
Maybe
able
we
to.
can narrow it down to the high school, because remember
Hmm.
that we speaking to matriculants, or those that just received their
Yes.
results. So we want to hop around that and seeing how we can assist them, and when should they come for help if they do need help.
Hmm.
Okay, so obviously, the understanding is that at high school, learners get to choose their subjects at grade 10 in terms of which whatever I'd say field they want to go to, and obviously that's when I usually encourage parents to reach out, and. We always have people around that we know. So as soon as possible, start to engage. Those who are already in grade 10, grade 9, but again, my argument is that our young people, our learners, they have smartphones now and they have data, but they use it incorrectly. There's enough information, on your phone if you use it correctly, and if also maybe you involve other, people that have been in the journey, before you. But the reality is, when it comes to preparation for an example, for university, start planning in grade 11. So I have a daughter that's doing second year in university. So we did our planning from grade 11. You start researching, where do you want to go? All the universities, how do they perform? And what facilities do they have? Do they match your personality and what you that you, I mean the field that you want to go to? So you do your research as early as grade 11, including application processes. So, for an example, like sharing personally, like I say, my daughter and her friends, they would actually cross NAT to make sure that when the system opens for the universities, they are the first ones to apply.
Wow.
So, all in all, preparation is key, and start as early as possible. It's never too late. As early as you can, start preparing, read. There's so much information online, like I say. Let us forget about TikTok, and all those social media platforms, especially if you want to take yourself seriously.
Mm, wow, interesting. Now you mentioned something nice here. You involving us as parents. Now, when do I get in as a parent to support my child? How and when to be involved with my child?
It's actually, is that directed to me, Figile? I
Yes,
think it's
please.
Evening once again. So I'll say as early as possible. For me, grade 11 is a little bit too late. I always advise parents to even grade 9, because at grade 10, that's where they choose which stream they will on. As early as grade 9, you know that your child is good at natural science or maths, and then there you can see Oguti, this child can take maybe this stream or this stream, or even you can even channel your child to take those streams. That look, you are good at this and you are good at this, so how about you take this stream of subjects, and you can do 1, 2, 3, and 4 when you on grade 12, and you can even do these courses. These are the opportunities that are there. Um, so in grade 11 or grade 10, it's much easier for a child then focus to those at which which the learner excel in grade 10, 11, and 12. It's just a cruise. Or the learner knows that no, I'm good at this and good at that. So it's much easier for parents. It's very important to support their children at a very early stage. I recommend that, because it make it simpler to tackle other issues, peer pressure, and all of that in grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. Grade 12, it's those things that you have learned in grade 11 and 10. It's just a multiplication and a small addition of what you've learned in grade 11 and 10. So I'll advise parents to even more get more involved as early as grade 9.
Thank you.
Right. Can Thank you for that. Can we maybe change gears a little bit? We've seen the qualification side of it, when to consult, how early to consult with people like Sisjawu, like with their profession. But now let's talk about a matriculant that received their results and it's not what they expected. They have failed. What we want to help our matriculants is want them to see beyond the results that they have received. So what advice can you give? Maybe we can spread the answer with you all. What can you advise them, so that they know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel? Anyone can jump in.
Okay. The word of advice that I would give to the matriculants who didn't do well in their academics is that you can either rewrite the subjects that you didn't do well in, and then
Mhm.
there are also opportunities. We tend to run away from the fact that not all of us are blessed to have that academic intellect. However, I am very gifted with my hands, with my voice. I can do carpentry, I can do art, I can sing, I can act. And we do get those skills at TVET colleges. The higher education of South Africa in TVET colleges do offer those learning areas that do not necessarily need you to have, it's either to have a matric, and then it's just this pressure within our communities that say to people, you need to have a metric certificate. Yes, it is very important to have a metric certificate, but then it's also good to introspect and analyze your strengths, your weaknesses, and then get your threats and then your opportunities, because you find a lot of people now sitting at home, they have this beautiful skill. It's only a matter of just going to the TVET college to sharpen it up and then read business ethics here and there, and then open your maybe a boutique if ever you are the person that knows how to sew. But we how we deliver the message of education becomes very different, because we focus on how much grades, how good are your grades, and all that, and not focus on uplifting the skills that you already have that can be valuable to the community and actually contribute positively to the economy of South Africa. And then by doing that, going to TVET colleges and enhancing your skill can contribute positively to the economy and remedy the situation that we have in South Africa. Eyokuthi there is high unemployment rate within the youth of South Africa. So we need to also have a shift and not only focus on metric certificate and say education is all metric. It is not all metric. There is something different and far more better than a metric certificate that is going to enhance your God-given skill. Thanks.
Thanks, Sipho.
Well, that's well put there. Just a little bit of experience from my side. I know. I just remember it now. Uh, I did my matric very long time ago. I just had to dig very deep from my arsenal there. When I passed my matric, they were not good marks, but it was a pass. And just before the exams, there was a college that came into our schools, and then they said, if you want to upgrade your matric or your results, this is where you have to apply. And I thought that was an advantage, because now you have passed, but then your passing mark does not get you into university or any high institution. So you're able to upgrade, so that you're able to get to that level of degree to enter into university or technical. So I think that's another option. And we've had a show recently about GED. Um, Somebody was talking about, our guest was talking about it, that it could also be an alternative, for those that are struggling, especially from matric, from going into the normal school. I'm saying normal is because everyone goes there, you know. But then if you do something like GED, that could be another alternative where it can get you to the grades that you want to have to qualify for certain professionals or professions. So that's the experience that I got from my side. But the GED, unfortunately, I only learned about it like few 2 years ago.
Too
You
late,
may
yes.
remember.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
about a year, 2 years
But
ago, 18 months ago. Yeah. Eh?
yeah, yeah. So it was too late for me. But it's never too late for anyone else that's listening here. So Pilani, do you have anything to add onto this one? We just lost to
Pilan
Pilani.
again.
Spa.
We can hear you, Pilane.
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. You can go ahead. mm, mm,
Coming from a background where there is no anyone who has a background in education, it's very difficult to say you want to ask something from your parents or whoever that is there for you. Uh, I didn't have any. This is the most important thing, education, because it's made me to reach at this point. So I was when you're living in a farm,
mm,
you want someone who's gonna inspire you
mm.
to show that the education this person went to school and he's achieving so and so. But if you don't have someone who's an incentive behind you to say they want to encourage you, you end up as a best. My network is very bad and the weather is bad. I'm trying my best. I'm not too sure if I'm still online, so that's why I asked. So if you have a background like that,
You are.
you fail to understand some of the things. It's like you're lacking resources. It's
Right,
like you are lacking
right.
resources
While we're
in terms
trying to,
of you achieving what you want to achieve.
oh yeah, you can go ahead. Sorry, we lost you for a second there.
So oh, okay. So I heard what Sipukolo said, and as Commander said about a parent playing a role. But there are so many. Sometimes a child say, "I want to do something." I play around that part where there's no one who encouraged me. There's no one who knows how important education is. But my growth, the society plays a role in bringing. When you see other people, where you are exposed to different things that you, when you go to a certain place and then you see people, they talk about something, you get encouraged and you. So for me, I would say when I was in grade 10, I did humanity studies. And then on grade 11, I decided because the class that I was in was overcrowded, mathematics, because I didn't want to be in a class where there's overcrowding. So I changed from grade 11. I went to do physics and mathematics because I was doing consumer and math lit. So my point to do those subjects, I didn't know where I was just doing it because I didn't want to be part of overcrowding that was in my class because they're all not giving class.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you, Pilani, for that experience that you are sharing there. So what we gathering from Pilani there? Unfortunately, his network is not behaving. But what I'm getting from him is he had to do a different course, like go for maths and science because the other class was not full. So I think that's another thing that is an disadvantage for a lot of youth is that when they choose a career or maybe when they choose subjects like in matric you have to, I know from standard 8 I had to choose between maths and and history. So you're gonna go to a class where it's not full expecting to get attention, but where is your potential? And you only find out very late in matric that you're actually struggling with mathematics. You were better off with the line of history and all of those subjects. So I'm referring back to you, Sis Jabu, that we need to consult as early as possible. But now it's too late. We have reached to a point where we have failed. We have reached to a point where we're not happy about the results. And with this show, we're saying there is light beyond the results that you are getting. I see we have Ayanda that's now connected. Ayanda, would you want to share an experience or how you can encourage youth that are facing matric and they're not happy with the results, or maybe they failed? You can unmute yourself.
Good evening, leaders.
Evening, evening,
Hello. Oh,
evening,
yeah.
evening.
Thank you so much. These issues of load shedding and also this bad
Mm,
weather has actually
mm.
caused trouble on my side. However, the topic that is being discussed here is very close to my heart, and it's something that I'm trying by all means to correct and help the young ones coming after us, because our experiences of how to choose a stream and which university can take you to the career destination and how to reach university and all that has been not has been a very challenging experience for someone like me coming from Nongoma, because for a mere fact that one comes from Nongoma, that on its own just become a disadvantage, and let let alone the access to information, access to support of this nature. So my experience choosing a stream from grade 9 was not good. I chose a stream based on
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Load
network
shedding
is
is not
misbehaving to
behaving.
all of our ambassadors today. But yeah, I think we gathered a
Yeah.
little bit of what Ayanda was trying to say. Sis Jabu, on what
Mm.
they have already mentioned as Umam coach, what is it that, or how can you help a child who wants to get to university, who is listening today? What is it that they need to look for when they want to go choose a career and get to university?
Figile, do you want to rephrase that question? I just want to make sure that I understand you correctly.
Yes. How can you assist one of our listeners tonight who wants to get to university? Is there a way, or is there anything that they need to look out for when they want to get to university?
Okay. Obviously, I'm thinking we're talking about 2024 already, because for most learners, it's too late. We're already in 2023. It goes back to the fact that do your research, right? And do your research, get I'd say the right people to help you. And I think we are lucky enough, as much as I'm not sure if schools have career guidance teachers or specialists anymore, but I would think be a teacher's pet, because teachers have information, but I stand to be corrected. But also, there's a saying that says, "Sihamba nabahambai." If you need help, be out there. Ask questions. Like I say, I'm sure in our areas as deep as my rural area, and as deep as Kwanongoma, one of my colleagues was speaking now, you you have professionals. I know so many of like engineers, teachers, and every. Nowadays almost every area has somebody that has been to university. Reach out to those people. But also, I want to challenge, if there's any teachers on the call, to say, obviously it takes a different stakeholders for a child to be successful. A learner alone, like I shared my story, you may want to go to university. The story that I was sharing, I had never been to Durban, to town myself. But I knew that I wanted to go to DUT. So it took somebody that has been and that has understanding of the environment to support. So I think the learner needs to be responsible. You need to be driven. If you want to succeed, you have to be driven. You can't be successful sitting down, and nobody, as much as we have parents, guardians, and everything, but it starts with you as the learner. You need to know exactly what is it that you want. Then there will always be people around you that are willing to help. but I want to emphasize it starts with you. So as a learner, reach out there and do the necessary. Be intentional. What is it that is required in order to apply at a certain university? So be intentional about stuff and do your research. And I know that most universities now do not allow walk-ins, but I tell you, if you are eager and hungry for information, there's always a way. You know, sometimes you knock at doors. Like I said, I've worked at universities where a student is knocking, and you can see that this child is determined. You want to chase him away and say you don't have an opinion. I mean, an appointment. But then you say, hey, what is it that I can help with? You know, and you've just helped somebody there. So I think the caller again. I mean, the call is up is to the teachers. You have access, you know, even in deep rural areas, the school principals, the administrators, the marketing team will be going to submit some information in town. Obviously, you can equally get information for your learners. I do feel like that is especially in areas where, like my colleague was saying, you just don't know where to get information because maybe your parents are illiterate, just like my grandmother. My grandmother was the most supporting person, but she was illiterate. She wouldn't take me anywhere as much as she wanted the best for me. So it's just to tap into the people that have information. And like I say, you can do everything, but also you need to work hard as a learner. Obviously, if you want to do, you know, engineering, if you want to do medicine, you need to understand what are the requirements of that qualification. It's one thing just saying I want to pass, but do you meet the requirements of the qualification that you want to do?
Mhm, mhm. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Sis Jabu, for that.
Knox,
Knox, welcome.
I see you join us. Uh, yeah. Any comment on that?
Or on the topic as a whole, Knox. We
Would you
know
like
you
to speak?
joined us now, but we know
Yeah.
that you know what we're talking about. You are muted. I don't know whether you are muted or it's network.
Yeah.
We're battling to hear you, Knox.
Yeah. I think we have issues with the network
Yeah.
today, as usual. But on Telegram, we do have Sister Ndima Kubela. Sister Ndi, welcome to the show as well. If you have any comment that you want to share with us, maybe from a legal perspective, as your field day, please do so. And we see Spies as join us on Telegram. Let me unmute her if she needs to comment. But thank you guys for enlightening us about this movement that you have started. It's unfortunate when I was looking at the stats, I see that Gauteng had a 84.4% achievement on the results, and which was the increase of about 1.6% from 2021. But this 84.4, it means the rest has not made it.
Mhm,
And the rest is what is more important to us, that we don't lose them out of the
mhm,
system.
mhm,
Um, although most of us may not be able to get to a high level education, but uh, as humans, we can reach out to things that we can do with our hands, being creative, and then just overcoming the sense of being defeated. So we're hoping that this show has gotten us to that level where we know that yes, the results are there, are coming out, even if they are bad. It doesn't reflect who the person I am, but it reflects maybe the understanding at the time,
mhm,
which can be improved at any point in time if I want
mhm,
to. But if I can improve them at that point in time, there are avenues that one can venture into where they can be productive. They can also feel that they are very important in the community. So we have this community or this venture that is being started. If you need to contact them, please let us know. You can type your comment on the comment section there, or later on you can send us a message. Then we can share their contacts. I see they also have a Facebook
Yes,
page
that you can follow.
where you can also reach
Mhm.
out to them.
We
Yeah,
encourage
you
our
can
viewers
follow there, and then
actually
if
to
you
follow the Facebook page, because that's where they will get
exactly,
most of the information,
yeah.
and they will get the counseling that they need, and they will be able to speak to somebody. Sometimes it's difficult to speak to people who are around you, but a stranger, you can be comfortable because
Mm.
that person, that they're not going to judge you, or they're not going to laugh at you, and they will be willingly able to give you the information. So yes, we advise them to join our Facebook page as well.
Yes, yes. Thank you for a beautiful show. So, just 1 minute for each. Any closing remarks regarding this topic, regarding helping those that need help to look beyond the results? Anything that you can share with us? Just a minute. Let's start with you, Jabu.
Thank you, Nevo. Just to say, firstly, it's okay. It's okay to fail because failure is actually feedback. I think you mentioned that partially. The good thing with failure, when you have fallen, when you have failed, don't fall forever. You need to stand up and run because the race has not stopped. You have big ambitions, you have plans. It's just a matter of acknowledging, which is human, to say you don't feel good when you have failed something, or when you get feedback that you did not expect. Obviously, we all want to win because everyone wants to win. But just to say to the learners out there, especially those that did not make it, it's not like you're a bad person, or it's not like um, you are a failure yourself. But it's just to say, pick yourself up. We are here to support you. There are platforms on social media. Like I say, literally, you can call one of us and one of the guests here, and we're here to support. The reason we are doing this, sacrificing our families and our time, is because we want to see you guys succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Spa?
Yeah, thank you. I would say learners need to know that they are not. We are here for them, and we can't obviously all of us go to university. States have so a high number of applications with a small number of spaces to access university or universities. So we can't all go there. But if you have failed, you have not failed in life, you just failed matric. So you can do it again. It's not a transmission. Don't allow peer pressure to rule your life. Just take a step back, regroup, and make decisions, correct decisions towards your future. And you can redo your metric. There's plenty of avenues that you can get into. So if you have failed, you have not failed in life. Just know that you are not a failure. It's just a
Thank
feedback,
you.
as Mom Coach said.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you,
Sipu,
Spa.
I want to make sure that I don't get this wrong.
From my side,
Sipu Kolo.
no, that's perfectly fine. From my side, as a goal setting coach, I always say begin with the end in mind. If ever you have that end in mind, and you are committed to that goal, for sure, no matter how life hits you, no matter how you fail, you get back up, because that dream it's like an attractive, it's like a magnet. It's always going to say, hey, come here, because you are so committed to achieving that goal. So begin with the end in mind, and then just know everything is in your hands. And we here as the ambassadors, um, we are here to listen, we are here to support. If ever you're not getting support in your families, because there are areas like that whereby people would say, wakwabona bani efunda la ekhaya ungazositshela into esingayazi, you know. But thina siyayazi. Reach out on social media and just say, sisiphuxolo, here is my number, ngicela ungifonele. I will do call you. Usho ukuthi ngizokufonela ngathi because angifuni ngishare, please. And
Thank you.
or
Thank you.
just to say all the best to all the matriculants and those who are going beyond matric.
All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you,
much.
Sipukolo.
Knox, can we try you again? Just a closing remark. And then Ayanda, are you still there? Yes. Just a minute closing remark.
I would like to say the journey to the final grade, which is grade 12, actually starts there in grade 9. If there you have made a correct decision when choosing a stream, I think the process from there till grade 12 will be seamless, and you will be able to yourself and be intentional about your education and what you want, because most of the time I used to say people, they're supposed to be driven by the vision that they see after matric. So if they see themselves as doctors, they will make all means that are possible to make sure that they succeed in each and every subject. So then if you happen to fail in grade 12, then I think you need to be fair to yourself in assessing whether you failed because you didn't get enough support, or because you are not able to actually succeed in those subjects, and then try to make life after those results. Life will be, if I know which I lack support, then I can then go back to upgrade or to go back to grade 10 or 11 to redo it. If I see that maybe there was lack of support on the side of parent or the side of the educator to teach me in a better way that I can understand, or either it's because like my abilities are what I got, then which means then from the report or from the results, then you can look at the possibilities that comes with those results in terms of, is there anything that I can do with my hands? Is there anything that I can do with my talent to make a living? Because this education system only assesses the content, but not the practical thing that a person can do. So it's very much important that we make them understand life in that particular fashion.
Thank you, Ayanda. I was trying to. I wanted to see if Knox has got anything to say now. Knox, are you there? Going once, going twice, sold. Thank you. Thank you coming in. Unmute yourself. Well, we're still battling to hear you. We still can't hear you. Sorry about that, Nox. I know you and Doc had some technical challenges, but we hope to have a second show where it will be just you and Doc, and take us actually give us more content on the campaign itself, because I wanted Doc to be here to tell us about choosing careers, to tell us why matricungazibulali, and you, Mom Knox, to say, parents, there's we are different parents out there. We've got mothers who can support you, and we've got mothers who cannot support you. if you don't get that, where to go when you need that support. Like some of my colleagues did mention, we are here for you. If your family members are not there to support you, Matric Ungazibulali is here for you. Whether you are in Matric grade 11 or grade 10 and you need our assistance, we are here for you. Thank you very much for to the ambassadors, and thank you, Doc. We've noted that you were trying to come in. Knox, thank you for trying to come in, but we're looking forward to hosting you the next time. Now, over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate having a discussion with you, despite the challenges that we were faced. I mean, such is life, eh? We try and overcome them. Whatever opportunity we have, we use it, and nothing stops us from doing anything. You that can stop yourself. So if you remember that, you can overcome any challenge that you're facing. So thank you for joining NMP Talk Show, and we hope that you will always be there for us. Joining us with our next shows. We have a beautiful lineup this year, and this is not the last time that we're hosting this beautiful team of ours over here. And yeah, I was kind of hoping to speak to the doctor here. We need some medical advice from the doctor.
Education, medical
Education,
attention.
medical. He's a doctor. Yes, yes, yeah. But we hope that, our next show will be able to host him, and we get
To
further
host him, yes.
information from him. So my name is Nel Murabi. My co-host is Filankosi, and we thank you for joining, and we're signing out until our next show. Please tune in as we start. Thank you, and see you. Vive el internet, vive el físico.
Thank you.